Welcome to the breeding program part of the field day. We're so glad that you could come. We have several varieties back here that I'm going to talk about, but first I'll tell you just a little bit about the program. We of course have our traditional long grain program. We work for both semi-dwarfs and traditional height varieties. We have a medium grain program. We have an aromatic program which was just started last year, and we have a new hybrid program which was started last year. Dr. Darren will be talking about the hybrid program in a few minutes. Behind me we have some of our standard varieties, Wells, Francis, Roy J, and Templeton. And they have been with us now for a couple years. Roy J is out there though this year for the first time as registered seed, and it has high yield potential and very stiff straw. We had some really good comments about it last year from the seed growers that had it, and we think that it's going to be a good variety for the future. Taggart is the long grain, which has the very large kernel size, liked by the parboil industry, but also it has good yield potential and good milling, even though it has that large kernel size. It's a little bit taller variety, and it lodges about the same as the Wells, the Francis varieties. It's not quite as stiff-strawed as the Roy J. Templeton was released as a blast-resistant variety, and there hasn't been quite as much interest in that. I'm going to say just a few words about some of the medium grains. Caffey is the first one. That was a new release from Louisiana. This is the first year that we've had it in our testing program, and from their data it looks like it has very high yield potential and it's going to be a very good variety. Next to that is CL261. CL261 is a medium grain which has the clear field technology, means it's resistant to new path and good for red rice control. It is somewhat susceptible to blast, and they are looking for more medium grains which might be a little bit better in the future. We also have Jupiter there, which is our standard medium grain right now. Jupiter, of course, has the high yield potential. It has some resistance to bacterial panicle blight, and it's been a very good variety for the producers in the last couple of years. Caffey, they believe, will have a little bit higher yield potential than both what the Jupiter and the Neptune varieties have had. We have another line down here which is a medium grain. It's one from our program. It has not yet been released. RU01011099. And it has very good quality, it has very good blast resistance, and it has good yield potential. So that's one that we will be thinking about possibly for the future. We have another long grain line down here which we're kind of excited about. We have it in head rows this year, so it's still a couple years away, but it has yield potential very similar to that of the Roy J and the Taggart and those varieties. It's about a week earlier than those varieties, so it offers some earlier variety with very high yield potential. It's a standard height. Looks like it's going to have fairly good tolerance maybe to bacterial panicle blight. So we're excited about that variety as well. But the pathologist will be telling you more about the disease resistance of these varieties and about the problems in the state. We have some new clear fields. There's the CL152 from Louisiana, and it's supposed to replace the 151 from Louisiana, which had very high yield potential but was very susceptible to panicle blight, lodged very easily. This is supposed to be a little bit better variety. This will be the first year we have it in the test, so I don't have a lot of information on it yet. And of course we have the two clear fields that are out there from Arkansas, the CL142AR and the CL181AR. 181AR is the semi-dwarf, very short, but it is susceptible to bacterial panicle blight and a little bit more susceptible to blast and very susceptible to the sheath blight disease. The CL142AR is the taller variety, very much like Wells, has very good yield potential also, has a large kernel size like Taggart, so you need to be sure to get it out of the field on time. It's like Wells, it can mill very well or it can mill very poorly. We also have a new clear field from Mississippi this year. It's CL162, and we again don't have very much data on this, but we will have at the end of the year, but it looks like it's also going to be a high yielding semi-dwarf type variety. These are some of the varieties we have in the program. These plots are here all year long. You're welcome to come at any time and drive by and look at them so that you can see them when they're a little bit more mature. And we are always here and available if you have any questions. We're more than happy to talk with you.
To learn more about this and other topics, contact your county extension agent and visit uaex.edu.